From 1979, Junior Achievement Bahamas has fostered entrepreneurship, work readiness, and financial literacy into the minds of young people. This year, JA Bahamas celebrates 40 years of inspiring and preparing young people to succeed in a global economy. Through hands-on learning and the belief in the boundless potential of young people, JA will continue to ignite the present for tomorrow's future. Hello and welcome to JA Talks. Our guest for this show is Ms. LaShanta Smith and Mr. Derek Smith. They are a JA power couple. So I have a few questions to ask you guys. The first one I'm going to direct to you. How long were you in Junior Achievement?
So I started my JA career in 2002 as an achiever. I graduated in 2005 after doing 3 years. I volunteered for about 4 years as an advisor. And then we started our own counseling firm, Impact Images and Designs, where I was executive advisor 1 year. And then I joined the Junior Achievement staff as program coordinator and then program manager for 2 years.
And Mr. Smith, do you remember when you joined Junior Achievement?
Yes, it was a long time ago. But I joined Junior Achievement in September of 1997. I was an achiever for 2 years. I was a junior advisor in my grade 12 year. So I left the program officially in grade 11. Junior advisor in grade 12. And then I was an executive advisor for about 8 years. And then I moved into center manager for several years with three firms, KP and First Caribbean, Impact Images, BTC, and BEC, so that's actually 4 firms, one of which is our company. And then I moved into the public relations arm until demanding that office in 2014-15.
Okay. And can you remember why you decided to join?
Well, back then, I wanted to be a part of something great. The program was very robust. There were a lot of successful persons that started in the program, like Felix Stubbs and Philip Simon. So people of that stature I looked up to, and I wanted to be a part of something great.
And you, Mrs. Smith?
Well, my mom told me that I could not join GGY unless I joined something business oriented. So she always wanted balance. And so I joined Junior Achievement. That's the truth.
Yes. Well, mom made a good decision.
Mom made a good decision. After joining, I would agree with LaShanta that the figures that poured their energy and time and effort into us. My first year, my executive advisor was the former Minister of Youth, Byron Woodside. And he was also a former executive director of Junior Achievement. He was a former achiever of Junior Achievement.
Yep.
So all persons that made impacts in my life at young ages were Junior Achievement executives.
And can you remember what you mentioned BEC, you mentioned BTC, and you mentioned KPMG.
Right.
Do you remember any other counseling firms that sponsored Jay during the time you were involved?
We were big Deloitte people. So Deloitte was my last year, and then I stayed on as an advisor after the fact.
Touchdown.
Correct.
Yeah.
And a lot of those relationships with that advisory team we're still very close with now. I also worked with KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers. That was a big counseling firm back in the day.
They came back last year.
Great.
Oh,
they were really, really impactful.
The executive advisor.
Correct.
Is our retiring.
Correct.
Yes.
And yeah, those were the firms that I worked with back in the day. We had a lot of Coca-Cola.
Yeah. If I could jump in, I would say it was Jetstream Aviation.
Yes.
It was Crystal Palace. It was Atlantis. It was Breezes. The biggest,
Marriott?
if I could, Marriott. It was Marriott. The Crystal Palace into Marriott. I would say that at a point in time there were 22 counseling firms.
Yes.
In 2008, 2009, 22. I remember that very vividly. We filled out an entire half of the gym, Candlelight Gym. No space.
No space.
No space.
I was going to ask you what was your experience like with your advisors, but I'll ask you what was your experience like with your advisors when you were an achiever, and how was your experience playing the role as an advisor to young people?
So it was very refreshing to have advisors that were close in age. So they were about 5 to 10 years older than we were at the time. So they were going through the grind years of their career.
Yeah.
So you could see that they were working overtime at Deloitte. So literally they'd come from their desk and help us with our reports. So it was good to see young, striving entrepreneurs putting in the work. And then they could relate to us in terms of, you know, that was the era of social media, MSN Messenger. So they could kind of speak our lingo. And then we would have to teach them a few things. Like, I remember at Canjack one year, the dancing instructions had just come out, and all of the advisors needed to know how to do this dance because we had this big dance at the end. And all of the Bahamian students wanted to do this dance, and the advisors were like, no, you're going to show us. So we showed them all of the dancing instructions that year, and so it was good to relate to them in that way. And I think it really helped me as an advisor because I wanted to relate to my students, and the achievers really grasped a lot of the concepts because I was a former achiever, and it was easier to teach and connect with them. And today they're walking around making us proud. I work with them, and it's amazing to see them.
We're on camera with them.
Correct.
Yes.
Some of them are, you know, running things at the JA office and doing a great job.
Well, I can definitely relate to you with the Canjack story because I went to Canjack in
Awesome.
2016 and we had to teach an advisor a dance.
Exactly.
Yes, and you, Mr. Smith, can you tell us about your experience as an advisor?
Interesting about my experience as an advisor, man. Let their success be your inspiration. And that was the driving factor. So some person may say, well, you know, you guys get too close, you get too comfortable with them, but the reality is you develop relationships with their parents, with their grandparents, with their families, with their schools, because you are invested into their life's goal, their life's aspirations. And if you fast forward, 10 years from where we were back then, okay, these are now our friends. It's not achievers and advisors, which means I felt that the experience was to develop relationships, to foster growth within young people. And that was my experience, and I think it paid off. For example, we just invited one of our former achievers, Lincoln Deal, to our Rotary Club to speak. And he said straight up, every couple of seconds, he either called Mr. Smith's name or my name, because the impact on his life whilst in junior achievement. And he's now a successful serial entrepreneur. And we can go on and on about all of our achievers like that. The Dr. Mingos, the Dr. And what's the MBA name? Strawn. And
So
go on
many
and on.
MBAs.
There's just so many, so many
Ashley
MBAs.
Pratt.
Ashley Pratt.
We have tons of students.
Tons
hundreds
of them.
students.
And you impact their lives because then they follow things that you have done in your life. So we were Greek. They are now Greek. They're now part of Black Greek-led organizations. We are Rotarians. They're now saying, well, hey, I'm over 30. How can I become a Rotarian? Well, you know what? I'm under 30. Do you suggest Rotaract? And it goes on and on. The relationships are still there.
This definitely encouraged a lot of elevation in the young people you worked with. I can say that. What was your most outstanding experience with junior achievement?
In my last year, I was a finalist in the speech competition. And that experience alone, so back in the day, we would have to participate. And in the companies that I was a part of, it was mandatory. You didn't have an option, and they would force you to do it. So the first year I went, I did my speech, and I just read it off of paper. The second year I was really pushed. And by the third year, I was primed to make it that far into the finals because, there were countless hours of practice. And I think that gave me the tools that I need to do what I do in business and in life as an HR professional now. So that has helped me tremendously. So a lot of the people that I was in the finals with are now peers and colleagues, and it helps me to get in front of people and speak to them. So, those lessons that we couldn't understand back then, why you forced me to be a part of a speech competition, why you were hammering it in so hard, but now I get it. So many life lessons, and I'm sure there were things that were in the curriculum and outside of the curriculum that really helped to hone me as a professional and personally as well.
And Mr. Smith, how has your exposure to junior achievement helped you in your life or in your career in any way?
Wow, how is it done? That's awesome. So, the former chairman of Junior Achievement gave me my first job. But the former chairman of Junior Achievement gave me my first job. I was turning 18 September 15th, and he hired me at 17, almost 18 in August of 2000. That's the first step. I can start there. Okay? He's now currently still my mentor, Ray Winder. Right? Wow, how is Junior Achievement impact my life? Oh, you want to go? The honorary member, one of our honorary members of our current Rotary Club of Old Fort is the immediate past chairman. Oh, he's not immediate past, he's the chairman,
Mrs. Simon.
right? Mrs. Simon. So Mrs. Simon is a part of our Rotary Club of which I'm the president. So the connections are still there.
Yes.
And
And
people
you're still
go,
continuing to network.
yes. The young man who beat me very bad in the speech competition, right? Fast forward 20 years. Fast forward 20 years. Is one of my best friends right now. He's the CFO of Doctors Hospital, Dennis DeVoe. And
Our kids play together.
our kids play together,
Good.
the wives communicate,
Yeah.
we hang out, yeah. So when you talk about connections in life, most of them came through the Junior Achievement Program. And that's just a start. We can go on and on. If there's a reference needed, there's a vast pool from either Junior Achievement Center managers, Junior Achievement advisors, contacts, counseling firms. We go on. We sit in board meetings, and then you sit across from us like, hey, Miss Camp, and everybody look at you like, but we're sitting in a board meeting and there are auditors. That's Miss Camp from KPMG, and we were center managers or executive advisors together.
Even on an RBC Bank line, Mr.
Yes.
Smith, Mrs. Smith, come
off the
So
line.
those small connections, they matter.
Matter.
They matter.
They matter. So that's how it's impacts life. It's
Yeah.
in every aspect of everything we do.
And what message would you like to leave with students who may consider joining Junior Achievement, advisors, and people willing to give their time to the organization, and as well as sponsoring firms who may consider helping JA out?
So to an achiever interested in joining, I would say definitely get into it. Give it at least 1 year and give it everything you've got. Volunteer, do every aspect of it because it will teach you as a person and it'll help you to grow. And any volunteers that want to be a part of Junior Achievement, I would say if you're not interested in developing young people, don't get into it. Because you will literally build connections with these kids and then you want to know where they are in life. And then 10 years pass and you're like, where is my life? You look up and you see these kids are growing. You can't get in it for the wrong reasons, but once you're in it for the right reasons, you're going to definitely stick around. Counseling firms can do it. It doesn't take that much money. We've done it as a small business and it was one of the best experiences that we've ever had.
What message would you like to leave with?
I would leave the message more to the counseling firms. I think LaShanta handled definitely the students and advisors. Even if you're concerned about the finances or even concerned about how you're going to allocate those line items, it's professional development for your staff.
My name is Lyndon Wallace, CEO and founder of Quenchers, and I am JA.
And I am JA.
I'm J.A.
I am J.A.
My name is Moses Taylor and I am CEO and founder of Red Sea Bahamas and I am J.A.
Hey, what's going on? This is your boy, Sawyer Boy, Bahamian comedian, actor, entertainer, MC, all kind of different things. I'm a former JA advisor, and look here, I am JA.
I'm Clint Watson, broadcast journalist and news director at Eyewitness News, and I am JA.